This is really unique. There's not a lot of quartz like this that I've seen in Central Texas. And so this is like this very cool Jersey quartz coming out of this limestone boulder. In the heat of Central Texas, water is so precious. Lake Travis is just a short walk away from the house, and there's a beautiful private cove where I love to go swimming. I've heard it said that we don't see the world as it is, but as we are. And I find that the more time I spend in nature, the more I'm able to approach life with grace. Coming into this house, it's like stepping into a dream. Everything I do, whether it's spending time in nature or creating a space, is focused on how to downregulate the nervous system. Creating something as simple as possible so that the details that you want can be really appreciated and felt. So every detail like that is really important to me. My name is Sophia Rose, and I'm the owner of Dreamhouse ATX. I'm originally from Austin, Texas. My family has been here since the 60s. I am a farmer and an herbalist. I split my time between northern New Mexico and Austin, Texas. I have a small ranch in northern New Mexico where I raise sheep, rabbits, and bees. When I'm on the farm in New Mexico, I'm feeding and cleaning and carrying water and bringing in wood and just doing all of the farm chores.
Come here, good boy. Sit. Sit pretty.
And one of the things I love about being here is just getting to luxuriate in this slower pace of life and take a break. Dreamhouse is 2 bedrooms. The primary bedroom also has a sleeping loft. There's 2 clawfoot tubs, and we have 1 bathroom. It's about 600 square feet. But what's so special is that the property actually backs up to a wildlife preserve that is protected golden-cheeked warbler habitat. And in Central Texas, there's no public land. And so the fact that there is this nature preserve that can never be built on adjacent to the property is just incredible. We are out near Lake Travis, about 30 minutes from downtown Austin. To me, Lake Travis is really special because it represents this slower way of living. It's surrounded by limestone cliffs and juniper and oak. And you really feel transported, like you almost feel like you're in Greece. You just don't feel like you're in the US. The water is so beautiful. I named the cabin Dreamhouse because it came to me at a time in my life when it really helped me to step into and actualize my dream of having a home. I wasn't even in a position at the time to buy a house. I had a friend who happened to purchase the house at auction. I really needed a place to land, and she saw that. And so I had the opportunity to come and stay here, and 1 month turned into 2 months, turned into 3 months. This cabin was built in 1975, before there was really anything out here, because there were no utilities, there was no water, and so it was like really country living. And essentially she realized that she wasn't up for the task of maintaining and restoring the cabin because it had really fallen into disrepair over the years. And she really saw where I was at in my life and how much this house would benefit me. And she chose my offer even though it wasn't the highest offer. And I'm gonna cry just thinking about that because like I said, it did change my life. So coming up the path, we have the Yopon holly. The leaves are the part that is used as tea, and you can drink them green or roasted. I prefer roasted. It adds just like such a nice nutty flavor, and I love it iced. This is where I like to spend most of my time when I'm at the house, whether I'm just enjoying a quiet morning out here or taking time to write or work on the deck. And when you sit here, you have a beautiful view of the lake. This is Willow. Hi. My friend found him on the side of the road in Dale, Texas, and he is the love of my life. So before, this was siding that was just rotting, and something needed to be done, and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to put here. And then one day I saw these guys down the road demoing this house that had burnt down, and it was clear to me that that house was built by the same person in the same era as this one. And so very generously, these men helped me pull the shingles off of the house, and I got them over here and I put them on. So when I originally moved in, there was just a normal solid door here, and I really wanted to bring more light into the space. So one of the ways I thought to do that was to add a door with a window, but not just that. I wanted it to be a Dutch door. Right when you walk in the front door, you step into the kitchen. So when I first moved in here, there was no cabinets, no storage whatsoever. And the stove was actually a gas stove hooked up to propane, which in retrospect was quite dangerous. It was pretty rough when I moved in. There was only marginal running water, and I redid the electric, I redid the plumbing, I redid the siding. I have zero renovation experience, just pure vision and idealism. The windows in the kitchen really informed a lot of the design. There's different heights with the counters, and so that is going with the shape of where the windows are. So there were some design constraints that I think really ended up making the space a little more interesting. When this house was constructed, a lot of this stuff was already old. Like, these windows definitely are older than 1975, so whoever built this house was already using a lot of reclaimed materials. I try to repair wherever I can rather than replacing, and it's like what you lose in efficiency, you make up for in charm. There was so much I wanted to preserve in the house. There are things that this house was built with that don't exist anymore. The walls inside are made of locally milled mesquite wood. And when I've had different woodworkers come into the house, they look at that and they're a little perplexed, because they're like, wow, how is there a mesquite board that wide? Because all of the mesquite trees of that age have been milled. They don't exist anymore. And so there's certain elements that you could never get back. This is probably one of my favorite areas of the house. I just love how you almost feel like you're in this little light box. We have the stained glass, and we have this incredible built-in daybed that I designed and had constructed. What I love about this is that the entire thing is storage. And so basically you open it up and there's drawers that go all the way back. I had spent many, many years living out of different travel vehicles, like truck campers and RVs, and so I had really learned the value of optimizing every bit of space and having things that are both functional and aesthetic as far as storage goes, and so I applied all of that when I came to the cabin. There's the concept of a visually quiet space, which I had never heard until recently. And then I was like, oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm creating visually quiet spaces where natural materials and natural elements that get better with time can really hold the design. The kitchen leads into what I think is the most unique feature of the home, which is the original limestone steps. You can see the difference in this raw limestone versus the limestone down here, and this is all just the patina of being walked on. It's really beautiful to see how the interaction between humans and the natural materials transforms them over time. This stump was probably just from a tree that was here, and they built the house around it. So from here, we can come on up into the bedroom. We're using darker wood in here to match the walls and the floor a little bit more. It's so incredibly peaceful in here. I love the way that these windows are situated. so that there's like full windows on each corner and then the same window but just turned on its side right here. One of the really interesting features of the home is this loft. Because you're up in the canopy of the trees, you get this incredible close-up look at the birds when you're up there. At some point, this window actually cracked, and so we repaired it, but then we just put this trim over it, and I think it actually adds this like very cool element that wasn't here before. And so there is that reality of an old house that's being loved and lived in, that if you can come up with creative solutions when things are damaged, it can actually increase the character. Learning to live with and embrace the beauty of, you know, maybe a scratched countertop or something just slightly out of place, it shows that the space is actually being loved and lived in. Hi. Hi, Annie. It's so good to see you. Who knew this is what I needed? We're gonna use the Damiana. Cheers. Cheers. This cabin just captured my imagination. You really feel like you're in a fairy tale when you're here, and that really spoke to me, so I'm glad that I took on the project. When people step into the space, they might not be able to put their finger on it, but they feel it. And I think that good design makes you feel something. There's nothing like getting in a body of natural water to refresh you. I really think it is life-changing. It's just, I treasure this place.